morning. I am talking to you once again in the wee hours of a morning, and I'm looking out, guys, and it is miserable. And I thought, while I'm tired about what is weird dreams, let's speak about the weird AF as fuck ways I've created my photography business that have actually worked. Because I spoke about these a few times, but I want to do a bit more in depth. So everyone online makes like business promotion sound like it's like some perfect formula. You got to do reels, you got to do SEO, search engine optimization, for those who don't know. Spend hundreds on ads, build funnels, all that bollocks, right? But the truth is, most of us haven't got a budget for that and definitely don't have the patience for that, especially when we're starting out. Sometimes you got to get a little bit weird, a little bit properly. I mean, like probably like Khandie weird, okay? Get Khandie weird. Do the thing no one else would do because it's too scrappy, messy, too, oh my God, like what the hell? And that's why people will remember you. So today I'm sharing some of the strangest, boldest, maybe slightly questionable ways I promoted my photography business and why surprisingly some of them work better than spunking a load of money on a Facebook ad campaign. So welcome to Loud Lens, okay? I know I'm just gonna be very blunt because you expect that from me, and we're gonna talk about the one of the things. Do I need to trigger this? Maybe we need to trigger this. Okay, the missing child poster. Okay, so imagine this: I'm walking through Northampton. It's a beautiful. No, it wasn't. It was a miserable day actually, if I remember rightly. And I'm just coming out of what is called the Grosvenor Centre. It's a shopping centre. And up on the side is where is now the Metro Bank. It was something else back then. Was this poster? It's a missing child poster, and I always have it in my brain like go and look at that just in case, right? I don't often see them, which is probably why I go look quite often. It's heartbreaking, right? I want to just acknowledge absolutely heartbreaking. I want to disclose this child was eventually found, but it is absolutely heartbreaking. But when I want to talk about the picture itself, right? Now, do you remember Snapchat? Do you remember Snapchat? Because none of you should be using it now. In my opinion. Do you remember Snapchat, the one with the butterflies, like the gold butterflies floating around the heads, the smooth skin, all that crap, right? Well, that is the picture that they had for this missing child. Literally a Snapchat filter picture. That child did not look like that child. And I thought, if that was my kid, heaven forbid, because heaven been my child's missing, but heaven been I've even got a child, gosh, I would want a real accurate photo there, not some weird filter version. Because honestly, who's going to be looking? Who's going to go? Hey, have you seen the girl with the floating butterflies around her head? No, me either. Right? People are going to walk past her. And this is about a child. This is really serious, a missing child. So we need some picture. Maybe there was a reason why they didn't have me up to date. So what I did was I went straight on Facebook. In fact, I went straight to the coffee shop that was opposite, got my phone out, straight on there, jumped on Facebook and offered a free donation mini shoot for parents who wanted a proper photo of their kids just in case. Not because I wanted to profit from the fear, no, but because real photos save time if the worst happens. In the UK, one child reported missing every 3 minutes. That's over 70,000 children missing, according to the Missing People UK. Okay. This is the impact though. Parents took me up on it. They shared it. And what stuck in the head was not that I was a photographer. That was obvious I was talking about. It was the fact I gave a damn. I gave a damn about their kids. And and they believed in me. They came. I mean, I had people queued up outside my studio, right? I was like, right, until the day's done, we're just gonna keep going. And they all got a free shot. I think the kids hated it. Let's just be honest. Some of them thought it was cool, but mostly they hated it because they wanted the Snapchat feel. They wanted to know. But it was also the moms were like, just in case, just in case. All right. And that's the kind of marketing money literally can't buy. Tie yourself to community trust and being memorable for doing something that's incredibly human. Now, I'm not saying monopolize on something that's tragic, but I saw something that was just like, that is wrong. Who's looking for that child? We need a better picture of that child, right? It needed to be that one. It's the same as like when parents, I don't know how many of my friends buy their kids' school photos, right? Because they are expensive. And I'm not going to go into the debate of that. They are expensive to do. They are expensive to set up and everything like that. But a lot of people aren't buying them. They're taking a quick selfie with their kid, taking a quick shot. I have said this, even with my friend Jules, we have if I go missing, this is the picture we're using. If I disappear on the face of the earth, this is the picture, right? Use this picture of me. I laugh at it, but it's really serious because in a world where we're filtering the F out of ourselves and we're putting funny little things, we need to look like ourselves so that people can, when they pass us in the street or see us, will know it's us, okay? We need people to recognize us. All right. So that's why I did that. And it worked really well. And I can't say I directly got bookings from it, but I definitely got a lot of publicity and it definitely boosted my business. But the main thing is I saw there was a problem. The other one I did, and this is going to feature in a forthcoming, I think it might even be out by the time this comes out, this podcast, but I'm going to feature in an article that I'm being interviewed for, the BIPP, which is the British Institute of Professional Photographers, which ironically, while we're on that, What are you doing in November, my darlings? It's in November in London, in Holborn Studios even. The BIPP are hosting a massive bash for photographers. Okay, I'm going to put the link to tickets in the bio. You're going to go because I'm going to be there. We're going to hang out. You're going to see me go, oh God, that's like Khandie, avoid at all costs. But we are going to hang out, okay? Because we're going to be in the same building. There is going to be workshops, hands-on tutorials. You are going to have Q&As and be able to chat to people. We're going to go, okay? You and I, we're going to hang out. Anyway, back to this bit. Storytelling is something that I absolutely love doing with my images. So one of the things I decided to do was, what about the people who can't tell their story just yet because finances or whatever, right? So what I did was this pay what you can date. Literally come for a portrait session super quick. And instead of me telling you the price, you pay me whatever you can. That could be money, could be gifts, could be bloody jam donuts for all I care. And do you know what? People booked up and showed up. Some gave me cash, some turned up with bottles of wine, homemade cakes. One person even bought me a piece of jewelry that was so lovely. In fact, where is it? It's over there. It's actually on my mirror here so I can look at it. It's so pretty. I did not expect anything. I actually put this down as I wasn't going to earn anything. Oh my God, people were talking about it, sharing about it, booking in with me, and it was just stunning. Did I make as much as I normally do? No, good God, no. But what did happen is people spoke. People talked about it like crazy. Um, pay what you can model has become increasingly common. UK charities have used them, and research by the Oxford University shows that when given the choice, 6% of people would actually pay more than the suggested minimum if they feel connected to the cause. Now, the cause, there was no cause attached to this one. This was just pay what you feel, right? Maybe I'll do it in the future with some sort of charity thing attached because I think that'd be quite nice. But it's so lovely. And the point was, I wasn't making money. It was about people going away buzzing, telling me there's this mad photographer in town that let us pay with cake. That's worth 10 10 Facebook ads. Honestly, I swear down. And people booked me. And newspapers covered me. People booked in after. Well, oh my God, I saw what you did for a freebie. What can you do for a paid one? People kept coming. It was lovely. I never got disrespected because I set the parameters really quickly. It happened. It was so good. Now, there is something I do in photography that's like an activism thing, right? And it's something to get my name out there, but also show people I care. But I started off because I was annoyed. So fly tipping, essentially people jumping this stuff out, is a prevalent problem near where my studio is, near where I live, and I had had enough. And I used to just step around it, report it, and fine. But what actually had stopped me in my tracks was one day I'm walking along the street and I see this big pile of mattresses, right? It must be uni move out day or move in day. They always sort of coincide. And I couldn't help but see the lady in front of me who was in like a mobility chair, which couldn't get past on the path. She couldn't get past at all. She couldn't get off the path to cross the road because even the drop curb was blocked by more rubbish. So I ran up. I said, "Hey, let me move this stuff for you." And it was gross, like soggy wet mattresses with stains I don't even want to know about. So I moved. Luckily, I carry hand gel with me, get rid of that. But I moved it all and she was able to get down. And I looked at her and thought, God, I've been walking around with such an sort of ableist sort of eye line. I've been like, oh, I can just step around it. People can't. So now when I'm walking around the area, and it's normally just the same four streets. Now I live in Northampton and we have had huge issues with fly tipping. I will photograph the rubbish. I will photograph the bags dumped in the alleyways, the mattresses, the sofas, the chairs, the fridges, the washing machines. I think I'm up to 400 mattresses so far, just over. And what I do is I tag the council in, I report them all, and I make a point of it. And sometimes I do it to a little comedy skit because I think it's funny. And then I post it online and I tag that council in local groups. Did I get photography from clients from it? No. But did I get people to take notice of me? Yes. Just want to let you know that the impact of fly tipping in England they have dealt with over 1 million incidences, and that was just in 2022, 23. So this is a problem that you could find in your area. The reason I'm highlighting this is not because it's the council's problem that there's rubbish. It's the fact that it's the impact it has on the community and people hate it. For the most part, a lot of people don't drop rubbish, but it's always certain individuals. Like we know on a street right near us, there's a landlord who every time he kicks the tenants out at the end of the university year, he dumps everything out on the street. He's been seen, he's been reported, but very little happens to him. Now, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but we're kind of sick to death of it. And I will tag the council in it. I will show them the hypocrisy of the situation. And in fact, at one point, I got so known for doing this. There are people in my area, I need to acknowledge that they do it too, that the BBC sent out a reporter and a film crew to come and see me. So I went out, yeah. And while we were filming, a woman was dumping rubbish. I also then got interviewed by another company which was owned by the council. They had to cut my part because apparently me talking about fly tipping isn't so good. But, yeah, imagine that the council don't want people to talk about it. So I have that, right? And I talk about it and people message me and and the press picked up on it and suddenly I wasn't just some photographer. I was that photographer that cared about the area that I lived in and cared about the people. That reputation got me remembered. When people need a photographer, do you know who they call? The one that gives a toss, the one that they know cares. Me. I'm sure they call other people, but it was such a way to market. I wasn't like going out on my day, go right today, I'm gonna go photograph rubbish. I was literally going to grab a coffee in town and I was like, hey, let's just photograph it. Same 4 streets, just to highlight the fact this is just the same 4 streets. And it got to the point. In fact, if you go, I'll tell you, I'll put the link to the rubbish so you can see the in the description on this because I think it's you can see what I'm doing then. That's interesting. But it got me noticed, and it was something that I didn't think was something I was going to do. I just started doing it, and before I knew it, once a month I was doing these reels, and people were enjoying them and calling out the council. It was almost like a form of art with activism. The other thing that's really popular on social media, and I can't say I claimed it, I just happened to see it and was inspired, was taking strangers' portraits. Right. I love doing street photography. So sometimes I'll walk up to somebody and say, hey, do you mind if I take a photo? I'll explain what it's for. There's no pitch, no sales. You look amazing. Can I take a photo? People genuinely love it. Generally, they share the image, they tag me, they tell their friends. And it isn't about making money, it's about building trust and human connection. But also, I get content from it. Okay. And trust me, people remember the photographer that made them feel seen. A study from Nielsen says that 92% of consumers trust word of mouth recommendations more than advertising. That includes online shares from everyday people, not influencers. So when these people needed headshots or when their sister needed a wedding photographer, they were like, hang on a minute, what was that photographer's name? Oh, Khandie. The stranger with the camera made them feel special. I set myself out a challenge to learn about shooting on the spot. Hey, education, you should always make time for education in your business plan. But it had some duality because I was creating content, images, but also doing marketing. And that little task was amazing. Now, I will say, asking strangers for their portrait can be quite daunting. And I'm not here to lie that it's not a bit scary. It is. But once you get the first few under your bag, you're like, ma'am, watch me go, watch me fly, call me a queen. I got this. Okay. Another thing I do is, and you could, this is not something I would say do a lot, but it's a real favourite of mine. So instead of chasing a well-connected or local celebrity, I'd ask around, who's the kindest person you know? I don't care about the richest or the so-called stereotypical pretty or the popular. I want to know the kindest person. And then I offer that person a free photo shoot. People bloody love it. They share the photos because this isn't about clout chasing. This is about community. I'll tell them who recommended them or what people have said. That single act often did more for my name than photographing any wannabe influencer, high profile person here because being tied to kindness travels far further than being tied to someone's ego. And I think that's something we need to remember. We aren't, for the most part, we're not going to get major models. We're not going to get major celebrities. We are going to do what we do happily, but we're working with regular people. And if you want to get more clients, because most of your clients can be regular people, you need to connect with regular people. I mean, you could go around and go, oh my God, I'm chasing like, I want to photograph Molly May. I want to do this. Honey, Molly May, I'll give a crap about you. I mean, she won't say that. She's probably a really nice lady. But she know that you want to connect with like Joe down the street or Tamsin over the other side. Actually, my friends are called Joe and Tamsin. They're married. But you know what I mean? Like we're gonna connect with different people and we're gonna get known. And that's a way to build up your business. Don't just put a model call out and just go, I need a model, that'd be great. Like, why don't you try and seek out somebody? And then you could say, you got then when you write the caption to go with those pictures, you can go, hey, this is Sarah. Sarah was, I don't know, let me think, what could Sarah do? What can Sarah do? Ah, Sarah Sarah was my childminder and when I was having a tough time, she was always there with a coffee to look after me, and you've got this little story element that you could chuck on, right? You could, this is a nurse who was always by my side during my labor. Like, you could chuck all this on. Like, this is your story for the caption. Remember, people like stories. Your storytelling. Tell a friggin' story. Make it a truth one, obviously. Don't be a douchebag, make it up. But although these are all made up examples of who these people are. But make a story out of it. Then you not only have you got the content of the image, you've got her spreading word of mouth, the person who nominated them spreading word of mouth. You've also got a story that you can put on your Facebook or your website or your blog, whatever, and it gets people talking. And suddenly you have content. Ooh, content. Content is king. But these are just some of the ways. I mean, there is not not one of these came out of a business textbook, not one. There was no sales funnel, there was no SEO wizardry. It was just me being human, me being a little weird, being Khandie, and willing to stand out. And in the UK, especially when people are so skeptical of big flashy marketing, these human touches matter, they stick. So my advice, my lovelies, is don't be afraid to go unconventional. Try the thing that makes you stand out. Maybe being bloody weird works. So, I mean, it works, right? I mean, doesn't it? I mean, I like these. What is a weird way that you could consider promoting? I mean, think of something right now. Message me, let me know, and maybe you've even done one, and or you're willing to share it, and we can talk about it, and I can interview you on the next one how it went. That'd be great. Anyway, this has been the Loud Lens. Don't forget to check the description for the tickets for the BIPP show, and I forgot what I was going to put in the end, but I'll just listen back to this podcast and put it on there too. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Tally bye.